we see ourselves as the HR of the state of Israel. We're bringing physicians with the Ministry of Health and with Nefesh B'Nefesh. We're bringing now engineering to some, I don't know if I should tell, but
Nuclear?
to make a collaboration with the private sector. And we want the private sector to call the Olim to come to Israel, to say to them, I'm looking for you.
How are you?
I'm fine, good, thank you.
So you're the Director General of, say the name of the ministry, because
Ministry of Aliyah and Integration.
Okay. Here in the Jerusalem Post, by the way, we say Aliyah and Integration Ministry.
Okay.
I know the official name is like that, but we have a 92-year-old style guide that says how we're supposed to write things.
Okay.
So I have to go according to those rules.
Okay, so Aliyah and Integration Ministry.
Exactly.
And it's interesting because it's not immigration. We don't call ourselves the Ministry of Immigration. It's Aliyah. Aliyah is something else.
There isn't a word for Aliyah in English.
Exactly.
Right. You yourself are in this role for...
almost 3 years.
Wow. And it's been a crazy 3 years because you started off, and then there was the war in Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah.
Still going on, but not as impactful as it was at the beginning. How many people made Aliyah from Ukraine back then?
100,000
Wow.
Olim. Not all of them are in Israel.
Right.
Some of them wanted to get the passport, but dozens of them are in Israel.
Dozens of thousands.
Yeah.
Dozens. Okay.
Exactly.
And from Russia, was there also a rise back then?
Mostly from Russia. From Ukraine, we had like 12,000 Olim, and from Russia, almost 80,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. People don't really notice that.
Because of
there was a fear. There was a fear
and enlisting to the Russian army and what's gonna be in Russia. So a lot of Jewish population from Russia came to Israel.
Right. So now we're in a situation where we're recording this the day after Simchat Torah, 2 years since the beginning of the war.
Wow.
President Trump said the war is over, and Netanyahu didn't say that yet, but there's a sense of moving forward.
Yeah.
Right? So how are we doing with Aliyah? People still made Aliyah this year, which is fascinating.
First of all, it's amazing. It's like a miracle, and there was days that we couldn't believe, 2 days after October 7th, I came to Ben Gurion Airport, and I welcomed new Olim that came to Israel. Israel was in maybe the most biggest crisis she had in decades.
Yeah.
But new Olim came to Israel, and we finished 2024 with 32,000 new Olim to Israel. In an average year we have like about 25,000. So
right.
So it's amazing, and we see the numbers of people that are opening the Aliyah files, and it's something that we need to pay attention to, because this is a very big potential.
So for those that don't understand, I understand because I covered the ministry for a long time. So basically, opening an Aliyah file means I'm starting a process. Right? So not everyone that starts that process actually makes Aliyah, but it gives you an indication. It's kind of like putting your finger on the pulse of the Jewish community, right? In France, for instance, every time there's a dramatic incident, you'll see a spike in opening of files, right? But then not everyone.
So you're right.
Makes Aliyah.
It's not all of the people that are opening their Aliyah file are making Aliyah, but most of them will make Aliyah eventually, and it's more than just a pulse, because it means that you're serious. You need to pay a fee. You need to fill all the bureaucracy. So it means that you really think about.
There's some sort of commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are we doing with the Aliyah files now?
So the Aliyah files is
It sounds like a TV show.
Maybe it's
not a bad idea.
So from France, it like we are more than 3 times of the number of Aliyah files in an average year.
Really?
And in the US and in North America, in Canada, We every month we double the number of people that are opening their Aliyah files.
Really?
A lot of people are interested in Aliyah, and that's something that is very interesting because it was 2 years that in Israel was very difficult to live, and with the sirens and with the...
For Israelis who are not connected to the diaspora, they're so surprised. They're like, why? Why? You know what I'm saying?
So
some of them think, though, that like America is falling apart and Europe is falling apart, and like there's no, like they don't see that there's actually Jewish life, but there is Jewish life.
There is Jewish life, and when we visit the Jewish communities around the world, we can see that it's just not only the anti-Semitism. It's much bigger than that. It's the Jewish communities that want to strengthen Israel, to be with Israel in the time that we need them. And it's not just the Jewish communities that are contributing and giving money to Israel. It's people and young families that want to be part of the new building.
I had a Shabbat meal a few weeks ago with a family who made Aliyah. I think it was in the middle of the summer, towards the end of the summer, which makes sense. I think they were on the Aliyah flight, the Nefesh B'Nefesh flight, and they said they had their file open, and they decided the day that Israel attacked Iran, that they're gonna do it this year. So and I was like, what?
So there are like moments that we can see like the numbers really.
And they're here.
Yeah, and it's amazing because it's like 2 months.
It's
so
crazy.
So that's the reason that I'm saying that people opening Aliyah files. It's something that is serious, and we need to help them. We in the ministry and we with all the whole government need to help them because it's something that is much bigger than immigration. The Aliyah waves. Build the Israeli society, build the Israeli economy. In the 90s, the big wave of Olim from Russia, they are like physicians. I've just had a conversation with the CEO of the railway of Israel, and he said to me that the talented new Olim that came in the 90s that knew about railway
or engineering, right?
That's something that
that's so interesting. Who knew?
And they are now retiring, and we need some.
Really? Okay.
In Israel, we don't have.
So anybody watching this or listening, if you are an expert in railway engineering or anything like that, please call.
Yeah, exactly.
The Aliyah hotline.
The Aliyah hotline. So we are opening a new division in the Ministry of Aliyah, and we're saying that Aliyah, we are transferring the ministry from a welfare-based ministry to a growth engine ministry. We see ourselves as the HR of the state of Israel. We're bringing physicians with the Ministry of Health and with Nefesh B'Nefesh. We're bringing now engineering to some I don't know if I should tell, but should say, but to the
nuclear maybe
and with a defense background. And
so actually the Aliyah I met, he's a psychologist who his expertise is veterans in the American Army and post-trauma. And I was like, wow. He's like, and it was amazing to see how humble he was. He said, I'm not going to, even though I have the experience, like what happened here is not what, it's very different than what happened with American soldiers. He says, I'm learning now. I'm speaking to be, I'm absorbing, and but I would love to be part of what's going on.
Bringing, his knowledge, and his talent that the state of Israel can be blessed, and we're seeking for more talented new Olim to come to make a collaboration with the private sector, and we want the private sector to call the Olim to come to Israel, to say to them, I'm looking for you, I have this kind of job opportunity, I will pay you this kind of salary. We are giving new benefits to new Olim in professions that Israel needs.
So medical.
So medical and with high tech. If you'll bring your company to Israel, we're working on new benefits that will encourage new olim not just to come to Israel, but to bring the business to Israel. Because, today you have, that's very interesting, and they have a long discussion about it with the tax authority.
Okay.
CEO of the tax authority, Shayanovich, said he's a big friend of the ministry because he's helping us a lot. And
not necessarily of Israelis, but okay. I could say
but
it. Yeah.
He's seeing the situation, and he understands that there is an opportunity. And we talked about that we need to help them come to Israel and find the jobs that they should.
Because by the way, I'm sure you're aware of this. American citizens who are in Israel, like myself, have to pay double Social Security if you own a business or if you have what's called osek mursheh, right, like a smaller business. And that's a dramatic issue, and it has a lot of influence on what people can do or can't do.
There are discussions in the Knesset about.
I know. I think there was a draft law,
and there is a draft law,
but it's not. Maybe. But the problem, by the way, I don't think it's Israel. I think it's the Americans.
It's the Americans, but there are kind of actions that we can make in Israel. But with tax fee, you don't need to.
Not tax. It's Social Security.
Yeah, I know. But with tax, if you're free from tax fee for 10 years from the day that you made Aliyah for business that you have abroad. And we want you to bring your business. So we are now working on a new act that if you'll bring your business to Israel, you will also get a free tax for your business for the...
Right, not only if it stays there, but if you bring it here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, that's dramatic. New York is a very big discussion amongst our readers and in general, I think around the world in Jewish communities with Mamdani, the candidate for mayor. Have you seen since he won the primary in New York, have you seen a rise of either requests or people reaching out to discuss Aliyah?
Yeah. We see the numbers, and it's increasing since last July, if I remember it correct.
A few months ago, yeah.
Yeah. And we all looking for November and the election over there. But in the Ministry of in the Aliyah and Integration.
Exactly. Okay.
In the rituals.
Exactly. You have a style guide.
We understand that Aliyah to Israel is one of the options Jewish communities in New York have, because there are Jewish people that are making Aliyah to Miami.
Yeah.
So we understand.
Or to Austin.
Yeah. So we understand that we need to attract them. So we are looking for new ways to bring people to Israel and to say to them that Israel is their home. And it's not just New York; it's also Britain. There are new Heritage Act in England that is going to be acted in November, and it's gonna change the whole tax fees that they're gonna pay. So it reflects the Jewish community in England that suffers from anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
And we saw just in Rosh Hashanah what happened in Manchester. So Aliyah, it's anti-Semitism reflects Aliyah, but economic situation also affects Aliyah, and eventually we want to bring the Jewish people to Israel and to help them build their lives in Israel.
Right. By the way, when Argentina had a big crisis back in the day, there was a rise of Aliyah. That's when it was a bad situation there, right? It's not
right. And when today, when the president of Argentina is a friendly president to the Jewish community and to Israel, we see that the number is pretty low from Argentina. But we know that we need to take the, I don't know if I to take the advantage of situations that are happening around the world, and not just only on the Jewish community, but geopolitical situations, and to bring the Jewish community to Israel and not to Miami or to
Yeah. So there's many people in New York or who own real estate in New York who actually reached out to me and said, "Can you help us somehow? Because like we're in a crisis and we'd like to make Aliyah, but is there some way that the Israeli government can do something?" And they said we're gonna bring a lot of wealth with us to Israel, and I don't know if we're, as a country that's, we're not we have a socialist aspect to our country, right? But, as a country, can we actually do anything like that? Because in a sense, the Israeli economy will gain from this type of wave of wealthy Jewish, it sounds very conspiracy theory, but wealthy Jews from America.
So we welcome every Jew that want to come to Israel and to make Aliyah, but we want but yes, we want to look for this opportunity and to exploit it, and today in Israel there is one way to make Aliyah, but eventually you can make Aliyah and you don't need to say to New York, goodbye, I'll never see you again.
Right.
Maybe you lose some benefits if you go to New York and will spend some time over there after you made Aliyah. But eventually you'll have the Israeli citizens, you'll have the rights of the Israeli citizenship, and you'll have your house and your home in Israel. With real estate, we see that a tremendous of people that are buying houses, homes in Israel.
Right.
So you can see it in
the reports of even more than they're making Aliyah at the moment. It's like a first step.
Yeah, and they want like the safe harbor in Israel.
Yeah,
to be if something will happen.
Right.
And I think that when I meet them, they are saying maybe I want to make Aliyah and live all my life over there, but I want my children to have the opportunity to live and to bring their lives to Israel.
And it's also usually something that will gain profit. It's not just
it's
not an ideological move totally.
No, but we're saying to the Ministry of Finance that the Aliyah and Integration Ministry is not just a welfare ministry. It's a strategic economic ministry that is building the Israeli economy for years.
So you put a lot of effort in the UK, from what I see.
In UK.
What do you've been there a few times, I think, recently. What have you seen different than in previous years? Obviously, there's the rise in anti-Semitism. You mentioned Manchester.
Yeah. So UK surprised us because we made a lot of effort in France and in North America, in places that we saw the potential and the people that opened the Aliyah file. And in UK, we didn't expect the numbers. It's still not thousands of people that are making Aliyah, but in 2025, it will going to be close to 1,000 new Olim from UK.
And that's the highest since?
Than ever.
Right. Because I remember covering Aliyah, it was like 300.
300, and in 2024, we ended the year with almost 700 new Olim from England. We doubled the number from England. And it's interesting because in France, you can see that the community is very attached to Israel.
Right.
They are they are first Israelis and then French. In England, in UK, I met.
They're very British.
They're very British, and I met with one of the principals of the most known school in London, and he told me in our first meeting before October 7th, we're British, and then we're Zionists. We're Jews. No, we're Israelis.
Okay.
And after October 7th, and after he saw, it changed. And he told me, I remember what I told you then, and I want to tell you. Now I understand that the connection between the Jewish community here and Israel is something that we need to look and to understand that it's a strategic connection. They think that in October 7th, the Jewish community in the UK and in other places around the world understand more than ever the connection to Israel.
Right. Because the UK, as opposed to America, surveys that have been done and research done in the UK shows, I think it was about 70%, if I recall correctly, of British Jews see Israel as part of their Jewish identity. In North America, not as much. And there's a lot of reasons to that. They're closer, right? The UK is closer, so you have a gap year, or if you're in a youth movement, you'll come here in the summer. But they have that sense of connection to Israel. Though some of them and a lot of them have criticism towards Israel, but they feel that connection.
I agree with you, and I think again that October 7th made people decide if they're with Israel or not with Israel. We have to see and we have to know that there are Jewish people that took one step back from Israel in October 7th, but there are a lot of Jewish people that their connection to Israel is now higher more than ever.
And you do surveys in these Jewish communities to understand what their feelings are?
Yeah, of course. And most of our surveys is to understand what they need and what will help them make Aliyah. And we made a lot of effort. The minister of Aliyah, Phil Sofer, one of his flags is to cut the bureaucracy of Aliyah, and taking a lot of action. We had a new division in the ministry that is all around the world. There are 1 week every month in England, in France, in South Africa. That's another community that maybe we need to look and to bring to Israel. That they are there because they want to help them make the step of Aliyah, because we understand that making Aliyah is not an easy thing to do, and we need to help you make it. And in North America, for years, Nefesh and Nefesh made a very good job with helping people that want to make Aliyah.
Right.
In other places,
they facilitated it in a way that was just
to
run more like a business than like a...
And to accompany, to help you, to make it through there. And now we are making it with our division around the world, because we understand that that's something that if we want to bring the people that are opening the Aliyah file, we need, first of all, to cut the bureaucracy in Israel and to help them understand where the children can learn and how the community will look like and what the job opportunities in Israel.
What are the profiles of Olim that you see lately? Is it younger families? Is it older people? Is it singles?
Young families and young adults. And
okay.
It's interesting because it wasn't that way till October 7th. Since October 7th, we see more and more young adults. If you walk in Tel Aviv and like Dizengoff, I have an office in Dizengoff or in Bukosham.
I want an office there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that you mainly hear English, French, or Russian.
That's true.
Because there are a lot of new young adults or limbs that are living in Tel Aviv or in Jerusalem, and a lot of young families that are interested in making Aliyah. This August was the highest number of new Olim that came to Israel for 20 years.
Wow.
For 20 years, this August. And it's amazing. When missiles from Iran were in Israel, 2 days after, we had a plane full of Olims that landed in Israel. So that's something that is fantastic.
Do you have any data on our people coming who are not the usual suspects? Because there's this term used now called October 7th or October 8th Jews, people who really rediscovered or discovered their Judaism after October 7th, or really felt a connection only afterwards. I've met a lot of people like that on Birthright who came here in the past 2 years, and even this family of Olim that I mentioned, they were usual suspects, let's say, but they weren't here. They didn't visit Israel for like 15 years.
Okay.
And they came with their little kids. Like, they just they were here like on a gap year, and that's it. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
so that's very interesting because it's not common, but I think that if we want to look at the future is in North America, because most of the Jewish population around the world is in North America, and I think that after...
But it's also the most complicated Jewish population to move, because they're still comfortable.
But still, there is so...
Right. There's a lot.
So big.
Right.
The number is so high that even if I'll make like 0.5% of the...
Yeah.
It's going to be dramatic. So, and I think that I really hope that the anti-Semitism will disappear tomorrow. And we are not right
in
anti-Semitism, but in campuses and in universities. And young adults don't feel that it's their place.
Right.
And in Israel, we have a very good academia, and we have a very good universities. So we want to bring them to our academia. And if you are a young adults and you'll make Aliyah after you studied here in the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, it's going to be much easier for you to live in Israel.
Just like someone who went to the army, like their integration is easier because
and your
language,
your professional.
Yeah.
You know, we had a very big reforms that we advanced in professional licensing. More and more professionals can come to Israel and work from the day that they made Aliyah. It's something that they couldn't do before. We saw a lot of talented Olim that had a job that wasn't appropriate to their talent. And now you can come to Israel and you can work in your profession. But if you're making Aliyah, I told it to my friend that he's from Toronto and he's debating if to make Aliyah or not, and he has 3 children, and his eldest children is going to first grade.
Okay, that's the time. That's the time.
It's going to be much difficult later. So we are.
It's amazing, by the way, to see kids transform within a year or two. Like, they're just like, it's amazing.
It's amazing, and you know, I live in Modi'in.
Okay.
And my third daughter, she's in 3rd grade, and she returned from school, and she told me, you know, Daddy, when I study English, I'm going to a separate class with 4 more girls to study English for Hebrew speakers.
Okay.
When I was a children,
it was the opposite.
Maybe 3 or 4 children English speakers were so in Modi'in.
So Buchman in Modi'in.
Exactly.
Okay.
But even in Kaiser or in Avnei Chen, we see more and more Olim, and we see them integrate. We see them first in their own communities, and then they come to Israeli communities, and they are very, very happy with the step. And you know, there is a say that I heard the minister. That he said it to parents of that made Aliyah with their children, and he told them it won't be easy, but your children will say thank you.
So that's exactly what I was going to say, because we're speaking very positively here, right? It's a dramatic step, and I'll even say, and you know, it's not very politically correct to say, but I don't know if most, but many of Olim will not be able to maximize their potential here in Israel, financially or you know, because they're just not, you know what I'm saying, they're not part of the inner circle of where things are happening. There are those that are different, and really the next generation is like that. I remember, you know, when my friends and I were getting our first tzav, right, the first letter for the army, and so there are those that had those connections, right? Anyone who was a Sabra Israeli had a connection somewhere, and someone would like pull them. They call it nimshoch, right? To pull them into a specific unit. I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So it really, only in the next generation will you actually see that.
So first of all, our job in the ministry is not just to accept it and to say, well, this is Israel.
Right. You have to try.
Working very hard to make it easier, and we succeed in some cases, and we have more work to do, and we are saying to Israelis, you need to integrate them. it's a mission that we all have to be part of. And that's interesting because you're right. And one of the
we're good at encouraging. We're not good at absorbing. That's part of it.
And the jokes that we like the Aliyah, we like less the
right.
But
it's exciting. And then
but I think
life itself is life itself.
But in the last 2 years, past 2 years, I saw more and more Israelis that are admiring new Olim that are coming to Israel, and they want to take part of of the integration part, and we need to help them, even with protectia.
Yeah, protect. That's the word. Yeah,
protectia, vitamin P.
Yeah,
and that's interesting because. As you said, one of the fathers that landed in Ben Gurion Airport, I in the middle of the war, I asked him, "Aren't you afraid of coming to Israel in the war?" He said, "I'm not afraid from the war. I'm afraid from the children in school."
Okay, in universities in America.
No, I'm afraid in the children in school in Israel.
Oh, okay.
They will accept and they will integrate my child.
Of kids.
And I'm saying it to my own children. This is our part. And when I was a child.
By the way, right before October 7th, now I remember, you guys had this festival.
Ole Ola.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went with my kids. I saw you there. Now I remember. And it was very important because I was explaining to my kids on the way, like, we're going to this festival. It's about Aliyah. And, we'll see the place where my family came from Ima, their mother, my wife's family, where they came from. And also just places you never knew Jews existed or whatever. Okay. And it was and there were so many Israelis that came. It was not just Olim.
I met with New Ole. He's still New Ole for us, but he made Aliyah 8 years ago.
Okay.
And he told me, "You're doing more than ever, but I can't understand if they want to come to Israel, that they will come to Israel. Why you help them so much?"
Yeah.
I told him, "Okay, you're integrated, great.
Yeah.
Because it's like in the.
It's a very Israeli thing.
It's a very. You're in Israeli now. If you're saying. You're helping them too much, but that's our job.
So just one more topic, which is something, it's my personal hobby. Usually, I know even your predecessors, etc., there are different countries around the world that come to Israel to learn about immigration or how to return people from their diaspora, quote unquote, to the homeland. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, is it South Korea? I remember once in the past, or India, maybe. I don't know. Like, how do what countries are in touch with you and want to come and learn about it?
More and more countries are investing.
Azerbaijan, I think, maybe even, right?
Canada, Britain, Hungary, Germany. More and more countries are investing in bringing immigration, talented
immigrants okay.
to their country. So we
Can you give me an interesting example of someone you met?
UK is addressing Israelis physicians.
Oh my God! Okay.
And we say to the foreign affairs ministries that in the past was saying that it's not diplomatic to encourage Aliyah in the world, but today it's a very diplomatic thing to do. So it's very interesting, and more countries are understanding that immigration, or Aliyah in our case, is something that they need to invest because it brings to the welfare of and to the growth of the economy of the country.
Right. But is there anyone, I don't know, a country that has nothing to do with Jews, let's say, that's in touch with you, that doesn't contradict, that that was in touch with you guys recently?
I think that the last 2 years
are busy doing other things.
Yeah.
I think maybe this is before October 7th, but but it's very interesting. So finally, someone who's watching this, listening to this, they want to make Aliyah. What's the best way to do it?
So the best way is, first of all, to jump to the water. And we made our best effort to do it much easier. Jump. And that the pool will be warm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
People don't like cold pools.
Exactly.
Okay.
So first of all, contact us. Contact with our Melavei Olim division. contact with the global of the Jewish agency, and open your Aliyah file. We'll accompany you step by step till you be sure that you are willing and you can make this step and to come to Israel. And I have to say to the people that are watching us that Israel wants you. Israel need you. We are after the war. We in the last Chag we can really said Chag Sameach to each other, and now is the time to bring Israel to the next chapter.
Amen. So Avichai, since I follow what you do and what the ministry does, and I could also compare, so I know you and the minister Ophir really care and really do so much in order to help people make Aliyah and encourage them. So thank you for doing that. It's not a given, because I covered people who weren't as good. So we won't mention any names.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The interview. Thank you very much.